This is Jay Mancini, guys. Welcome to the channel. You already know what we do here. We keep the wheels rolling and the cash flowing. Today, guys, is going to be one video that I'm going to tell you right now, guys. If you're about to get started in the dump truck business, yes, so if you're about to get started, you're a beginner, and maybe even if you're not a beginner, this video is for you because you might have already started in the dump truck business and you might not have these three key individuals already in your business. So if you started and you don't have them, this video is for you. But most importantly, guys, if you're about to start and you want to know three key people that you need to have when you start your dump truck business, then this video is for you. All right, guys, so let's dive in. The three key people you need when you start your dump truck business. Number one, guys, CPA. So your CPA is going to help you with financial planning, accounting, and managing. So how important is that? Well, you may say, Jay, I'm just not going to get started. I'm only going to buy one dump truck and I don't even know if I'm going to make it in the dump truck business. Well, if you want to make it in the dump truck business, I can't tell you this. You need this guy right here or lady, CPA. Why is it so important? Well, you guys already know what a CPA is, right? They're extremely important because if you just started and you only going to have one dump truck at the beginning, what happens to all the expenses, right? All the money that you invested in that dump truck, right? All the money that you invested to start with that dump truck. You need to have a CPA, guys. You already know because you need to not only keep track of it, but they're the ones that are going to help you at the end of the year, right? With your losses and your gains. And you already know how Uncle Sam is about that. So a CPA is going to be extremely important because at the end of the day, they're the ones that are going to help you save money. So it's very important that when you first start off your business, when you first start off with your LLC, that you have a CPA because they're going to be the ones that are going to make sure that when tax season comes, that everything is in place when it comes to your financials, okay? You know that the dump truck business, I've done tons of videos. In these videos where I show you there's a lot of costs associated to owning a dump truck and running a dump truck or just having a dump truck business in general. So they're extremely important for you because yes, they can help you at the end of the day save a lot of money, guys. So it's very important for you to have a CPA. Now, just to tell you guys how important it is and what I've experienced, you know, when you have a CPA, let me tell you the difference, okay? I've had a guy that I know that owns just one dump truck. He's had his dump truck for over 15, maybe 20 years now, right? And this guy goes to like TurboTax or something. And he's probably, you know, not thinking about it because he's like, hey, you know what? I just have one dump truck. I only have to worry about this one dump truck and the associated cost of this one dump truck, right? But here's the thing, guys. This guy, first of all, doesn't even have an LLC. He just has a DBA, which is a big no-no for liability reasons. And I have a video on that as well. So, guys, LLC is number one, right? And guess who can help you start that LLC? A CPA, right? And he can tell you what kind of LLC you're going to need as well, right? So that's the first step, why you need a CPA, right? Not to mention everything that I've already talked about up until this point. So again, they're extremely important, right? Make sure you know a CPA and make sure that you tell them exactly what kind of business you're going to get into and what you're going to be doing, right? So that's how you know if they're a good fit for you. Now, going back to my example, why is a CPA so important and how has a CPA helped me in my business? Well, guys, ultimately, when I first started and I only had one truck, it wasn't a real big deal, but at the same time, he was able to offset a lot of the costs that I had, you know, with the revenue that was coming in. And, you know, I probably could have paid a lot more when it came down to paying Uncle Sam, but because my CPA knew what he was doing and he knew how to apply all the costs that I had with my dump truck towards what my income was, at the end of the day, guys, it offset a lot of the income that came in. I was able to save money ultimately at the end of the year. So again, you already know, number one person you need to have, CPA, guys. All right, guys, number two, a lawyer or an attorney, guys. How important is a lawyer and attorney? You may be thinking, Jay, why do I need a lawyer if I just got started or I'm just going to get started in the dump truck business? Well, when you first start and you first buy your dump truck, at that moment, you're thinking, I don't need one. But I can tell you one thing, you are going to need one in the near future. It's always good to already have a lawyer or an attorney in mind, okay? Especially if you know you're going to need them down the road. Now, let me explain to you why you're probably going to need them down the road, okay? The reasons why you're going to need a lawyer and attorney down the road, guys, let me tell you. Contract, first and foremost, you got a dump truck. You just bought one. Even though you just have one dump truck, you know what? There's a high probability whoever hires you, they may be sending you some kind of contract or some kind of agreement for you to sign and review, right? So who do you need at that moment? If it's your first time and you're brand new in the dump truck business, you might not know everything that agreement or contract entails, so you're going to need an attorney. So once again, it's always good to have one for the very beginning, even if you don't need them at that moment, but already have somebody lined up, right? Have somebody you've already had a conversation with and maybe just had a small consultation, because down the road, when you do go work for a supplier or a contractor or even a broker, and they may send you an agreement or a contract, you're going to need somebody to ultimately review it, which is this guy, the lawyer or the attorney, because you don't want to sign something that you're not sure about. So you're going to need a lawyer, you're going to need an attorney, and you want to be ahead of the game and make sure you already have a good point of contact with one of them. All right, guys, another reason why a lawyer is so important, okay? When you first start off, you only have one truck, but what happens, guys, if you have 2, 3, 4, or even 5 trucks, not to mention multiple trucks down the road, and now you're having to actually hire owner-operators, or better yet, your own drivers to work and drive your other trucks, right? Now, if those drivers are employees, then you're definitely going to need a lawyer. Why? Because, guys, you want to make sure that you're also protecting yourself. You want to make sure you know all the laws, the regulations that come with you actually hiring employees. So it's extremely important for you, again, to have a lawyer so that they can guide you through that process. So guys, what does that ultimately lead to? Asset protection, right? Guys, what a lawyer basically does is he makes sure that you're covered, making sure you don't get yourself into any bad legal situations. So when you're going to hire other people, you definitely want to make sure that you have the lawyer, you have the proper agreements in place or the proper contracts in place, and you're ultimately protecting yourself and your family. All right, guys, number 3, a banker. But most importantly, guys, business banker. Now, business banker, how important is a business banker? Guys, let me tell you something. A business banker at the beginning, you may not think is so important, but I'm going to tell you one thing. If you're thinking about making it in the dump truck business, especially if you're thinking, I'm going to be that guy that has multiple trucks, has 6 or 7 figures, you're definitely going to need a business banker. You want to start that relationship right from the very beginning, because I can't tell you this, somewhere down the road, you're going to probably need a business line of credit, right? So when you need a business line of credit and you walk into the bank and you don't already have a business banker, whoever you're going in there to meet, they don't know you. They don't know who you are, right? Now, if you start a business relationship with a business banker from the very beginning, even if in the beginning you don't have a big business, it's okay. You want to start that relationship from the very get-go, because a year or 2 or 3 down the road, when you need a business line of credit, or when you need to buy another dump truck, or better yet, multiple dump trucks, who do you need? You need a business banker, right? And if you don't already have that relationship, okay, with a business banker, and they don't know who you are, you know, it's kind of like a cold call in a way. It's almost similar to that, right? But if you've already established a relationship, there's already an open line of communication with a business banker, it's going to make the whole entire process a lot easier. One thing I can tell you from personal experience, okay, I did not have at the very beginning a business banker. Yes, I'm being very transparent. I did not have a business banker. And guys, I'm telling you something. I was having to fund everything out of my personal income. So imagine that. Everything that I was generating in the business, I was having to fund it, okay, from my own working capital, from the business capital, right? So yeah, a lot of businesses, that's the way they start and they grow. But guys, that doesn't mean you don't have an open relationship with a business banker from the beginning, because I can't say this. If I would have had that from the very beginning, maybe by year 2 or year 3, I would have had an extensive business line of credit, and I would have been able to scale and grow my business a lot faster and a lot sooner. One thing that I learned also, guys, from having a good relationship with a business banker, guys, is the extensive network that they have. Now, you may be surprised, but they usually know a lot of people. And that's one thing I've definitely benefited from my business banker, right? I can't say this. Shout out to my man Rigo, okay? Because I tell you one thing, because of him, I've been able to build other relationships. And just to tell you one thing, I went not too long ago to a meeting, okay, that was specifically only for businesses that banked with my bank. And when I went to this meeting, guys, I built relationships with a lot of other business owners. And one of the guys I built a relationship with, He was a general contractor. I didn't know that prior to the meeting. When I went there, I met these different business owners, and one of them was a general contractor. We traded business cards, we traded phone numbers, and now, guys, guess what? Jay Mancini's doing business with that general contractor. So is it important to have a business banker? Yes, because it's not only about them being able to give you financial guidance or being able to provide maybe a loan for you down the road, but it's also the people that they know that they may be able to pass on those contacts or whatever information that they may have that's going to help you grow your business. So guys, people ask me, is it okay, Jay, to know these people before I even start the business? Absolutely, because once again, guys, this video is what? When you start a dump truck business. So it's crucial for you to know these people when you start, or better yet, again, before you start. Have a relationship, open line of communication, even if you have to pay for a consultation. Guys, it's fine. You're going to need these people. Believe me, I can tell you this from experience. Have a good CPA, know an attorney, a lawyer, and yes, get to know a business banker, open a relationship with them. Even if at the beginning you haven't even purchased your dump truck, but you know you're gonna go and purchase a dump truck, get to know that person and just be straightforward with them. Just say, hey, you know, I wanna open a business account here because I'm about to buy my first dump truck, but down the road, you know, I may wanna have 2, 3, 4 trucks. You know, these are my goals, this is my vision. And you know what? This is the person that you're gonna need to know, right? The business banker. So with that being said, guys, CPA, lawyer, business bankers, when you start your dump truck business, or better yet, before you start your dump truck business. Guys, you already know what it is. This is Jay Mancini. We keep the wheels rolling and the cash flowing, and we'll see you on the next one.